One of the biggest questions I've been getting recently is, what happened to Tekton? Where did they go? They used to be everywhere. Everyone was talking about them online and on YouTube especially. And for the past year or so, it's just been utter silence. Well, they haven't gone away. In fact, they've been getting better and better each and every month. Just, I guess no one's been talking about it. They haven't been making big news. And that's kind of the problem is like, for us YouTuber types, unless somebody makes a really big splash, there's not really kind of a reason to talk to them. But I figured it's 2024 right at the beginning here in January. It's a good time for what's been going on with them, what they've changed over the last year, and why I think that they're still relevant. So let's jump over there and take a look at, first and foremost, did you hear about this? 239 piece, just pull the trigger one and done tool solution with the stacking system. Look at this, with the foam inserts. This thing is ridiculous. Now the price, it ain't cheap, $12.50, but for 239 pieces of tools, all of them with their own drawer, with their own foam inserts, custom cut inserts, and the whole stacking system on wheels. Look at it. That is a thing of beauty. Tell me you wouldn't like to have that. You could then lift it out. See, you take each drawer, you can put it in your toolbox. When you need to go somewhere, you can take it out and take it with you. Maybe you got a smaller shop. There's a lot of different solutions. It even comes with the label, so you can label it so you know where you put what where. This is a great system. Now, I reached out to Tekton to ask them if this is going to be available as separate modular pieces. Are you going to be able to get the foam insert, or at least the drawers, to go in your toolbox or something separately? I haven't heard back from them. I think they're still dealing with the whole post-Christmas, everyone rolling back into the office kind of thing. So hopefully we'll hear from them soon-ish. Anyway, they've always been a bit slow to respond to stuff, so we'll give them some grace there. But anyway, that's some huge news, and unfortunately, I haven't heard anybody talking about it. Another thing was recently, or at least in last year, we saw them phasing out their ratcheting wrenches, which honestly, I don't blame them for that. I thought the wrenches were good quality. I thought they were a little tiny, if you know what I mean. Well, guess what? They're getting full-size ratcheting wrenches, reversible even. These are top-notch. Definitely going to, appealing to what I say is the new way the company is going. Now, some of you are like, well, what are you talking about? The company's changing. The company changed about 5 to 7 years ago. The father founded the company, and back then it was discount stuff, kind of like bargain bins like you'd find at like the grocery store kind of tools, or even the old school Harbor Freight kind of stuff where you buy the tool and it's disposable. Nobody, cares if it breaks or something. But when the kids took over, they were like, we need to change the direction of this company. We need to make this higher tier, better quality. And they wanted to go after the tool trucks, kind of the same way Harbor Freight with their Icon line and the Quinn, not necessarily the Quinn, but the Doyle and all that kind of stuff, has been really bringing up the quality of tools over at Harbor Freight. Well, Tekton was doing the same. They both probably got their inspiration from Gear Wrench, who was the first one really to go after the tool trucks with what we call the tool truck alternative kind of level of tools. And this is definitely falling into this. This is we got here a whole set here. They're not inexpensive. Here's a full combo ratcheting wrench set with pouch, 34 pieces, $465. So you're looking at a cost there. If we were just let's just say go metric on that, and we want the 6 to 19. This is no skip, of course. You're looking at $150. Now, $150 with no pouch, storage option. Let's get the. Oh, that's the rack system. Is there a pouch? Can I add the pouch? You can buy the pouch separately. There's a thing we'll show later. We can add the pouch. At $150, that kind of puts it in better perspective. That's above the Icon, but way below everybody else. In a truck on wheels kind of stuff. So I haven't had a chance to get them in hand, as it were. But as soon as we do, we'll take a look at them. But again, this is going to be a whole new level, again, raising the bar for Tekton. Another one is their wobble extension pieces here. Here's the 1/4-inch locking extension set. They've got a whole bunch of them. I love the knurling on it. I'm a big fan of knurling if you've been around the channel. They've added a whole bunch of extensions. They've got the new outlet portion of the website. Now, there are some places, some brick and mortar carries Tekton. I know Cal Ranch does, a few of the other farm and ranch kind of stores, some other various hardware stores. But none of the big boys carry them yet. but they are on Amazon, and you should probably, though, consider buying from Tekton.com. Just so you know, this isn't sponsored. I don't even get paid affiliate dollars by Tekton. They don't have any of that kind of stuff. They have sent us tools in the past, but it's been a while. And the fact of the matter is, they were great tools. They're about 75% made in Taiwan, 20% made in America, and they're working to change that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And I think about 5% made elsewhere. That percentage at this point may be lower because I've been seeing a lot of those not quite as great quality tools fall off. And I believe most of those were they're made in China kind of stuff. But anyway, here's the outlet portion. This is where they're phasing out. They either have factory overruns, stuff they got too much of, or stuff that they're phasing out. And maybe those composites there, I could see those going away. That's interesting. Look at this, the crowfoot wrenches. Those are interesting to see there in the outlet portion. One thing that Tekton never really did was sales. So it's in the past year, they've really started adding more of that. And this outlet section kind of, brings that to the next level. They have a bestseller section, so you can see what's really popular. And of course, I was going to reiterate here, sockets, and sockets. The ratchets are good. Not everyone's favorite. Everyone's a little kind of quirky when it comes to ratchets. I like this feel. I like that feel. I'm going to see what I got in my drawer. What I got? Snap-ons in the drawer next to me. Of course it is. I think my Tekton's over at the shop. I'm in the studio. For those of you who are new to the channel, we have 2 new spaces, so we're trying to find a good balance between tools here and tools there kind of stuff. Anyway, sockets, and more sockets. In fact, I think the chrome sockets are the best buy from Tekton. After that, I would say pliers. They make great, don't get me wrong, they make great impacts, but these days, it seems everyone makes great impacts, and there's no reason to pay top dollar for them. Bit drivers, those are fantastic. I got some of those. And there's the impact. It's a beautiful looking set. You don't get me wrong. All right. And what else we got here? We talked about the crowfoot wrenches. This is something new. These are made. I don't know if I can say made in the USA, but they're built in the USA. How about this? We'll talk about it in a second. We got the crowfoot wrenches and we got the angle head wrenches, and these both use Tekton's. They're calling it their laser mill process. So basically, let me read what it says here. Their crowfoot wrenches are made entirely in the USA with USA sourced materials, machining, broaching, engraving, vibration polishing, abrasive blasting, and plating take place at our Grand Rapids, Michigan manufacturing facility, manufactured in Michigan. So it does look like it says made in the USA. I saw the manufactured in Michigan. I thought maybe there was a caveat about where they sourced something or whatnot. So what they're doing is they're milling the material, or they're literally like CNC milling it. First they laser cut it to get rid of most of the material. Then they mill to final spec, and they've adjusted. They know how much they have to mill because when they heat treat it, it's going to shrink a little bit. Then they polish and plate it all there up in Michigan. I think all of it in Grand Rapids. It takes place at Grand Rapids. This is a great new process. Unfortunately, it's not the least expensive process out there. So it really only makes sense to do this with simpler stuff such as like the crowfoot and stuff that's not going to be high run kind of stuff. They're going to have to go to more traditional manufacturing, but I love to see them innovating here. Now, another one, you've seen me do a review on these. I had the Tekton, I had this one right here, the 48 wide one in the shop for a couple years. Actually, they sent it to a buddy of mine, and then he moved and he had to get rid of it. So I swapped him toolboxes for the one I had at a smaller modular system, US General stuff. Anyway, point is that this is probably been my favorite toolbox. And it's one of those things like, you sell it and you're like, I don't need this. And then you're like, every day you're like, man, I miss that thing. And I really do. Since we've been doing the channel here, I've had some Cobalt stuff. I've had some Husky stuff. I had Yukon, US General, and Icon. And even the Icon. Now the Icon was bigger. It had the hutch and everything. That was amazing. But when it comes to the drawers themselves, the Tekton drawers were by far the best. Now, this is not made by Tekton. This is made by I can never pronounce the name. It starts with an R up in Canada. Anyway, I'm not even going to try it. So they're a company that's been doing this for like 40, 60 years. They're a large industrial company that makes just big commercial boxes for industrial and commercial. And I don't know how Tekton managed to get them to make these boxes for them, but they're amazing. They're fabulous. And the drawer system is great. So you have the drawer itself, which sits in a carriage that then goes into the slide. And as far as taking out a slide compared to any other toolbox, there's nothing comes close. I moved the toolbox, 4 or 5 times, and you just take everything out, move the box itself, put everything back in. Super easy. I get it. They're expensive. They're not cheap, but they're really nice. Anyway, Ratchets, the soft handle, let's call it comfort grip. They're not that soft. Those came out last year. They did send me a set of those, and I've been using them and trying to get a feel. They're a little oblongish in the feel and the handle, and I'm still coming to terms with whether I like it or not. They definitely are better than your standard. I mean, if you like a comfort grip ratchet, I actually like it better than the standard round ones, I think. Again, we'll have to follow up on that later, but it's, again, another option. They're innovating there. They also came out with the folding quick release there, if that's something you're looking for. Let's see, warranty. I want to talk about the warranty. It's one of the things that made Tekton. And there's a lot of companies out here. In fact, I'm dealing with one right now, not personally. One of our viewers was dealing with it, and he emailed me. He CC'd me on the email to the company back and forth. And boy, what a just clown show over there with this company. Hopefully, they're going to end up doing the right thing for him. But it really, and it's an American company with American-made tools, and they're just basically using every excuse in the book to not warranty a simple hand tool. An inexpensive hand tool, and they just don't want to warranty it. It's not a good look for American manufacturing, if you know what I mean. Tekton has been setting the bar when it comes to warranty. They don't do a lifetime warranty. They're not even going to bother with that. As the CEO told me, it's a always guaranteed warranty. He said, this to me personally, if it has our name on it, my policy is we will warranty it. He's like, I don't care if you find it on the side of the road. And as it says right here, no time limits, no receipts. Shipping is on us. You take a photo of it, you upload it to the website, just like you see there, and you get a new tool often in like 2 to 3 days, depending on where you are in the U.S. Me out here in the boonies of Montana, it might take 4 days. Honestly, Amazon Prime takes 5 to 7 days. That's absolutely ridiculous. All right. And the other thing is, as I was saying, why you might want to buy on Tekton's website is they do 10% cash back. So anytime you buy it, you go to buy Tekton somewhere else, especially Amazon, you owe it to yourself. Go and check on Tekton.com and see what the price is there, minus the 10% cash back. Now, it's not cash back directly. I should say it's 10% credit on the site is what it really is. That you can spend like cash or whatever. And I've used it, and it's great. It's like getting little freebies am I going to get to add to it. The other thing is they still have their student program. So if you're a student in an accredited school or qualified vocational technical schools, 15% off of all orders. And yes, the 10% still applies. So technically that's 25% back, or 25, 10, 15, 20, you get what I'm saying. And Tekton still has all the great stuff, and they've been improving it. The 6-point sockets, the bit sockets are fantastic. The universal joints sockets, they're okay. They're not, I don't think they're the best out there, but they're not bad. Let's see what else we got. Impact sockets, again, they're great impact sockets. I don't want to take away from it, but the fact of the matter is I think you can get just as good cheaper. They may not look as pretty. I think they'll probably perform just as well. Ratchets, they've got solid ratchets. Not everyone likes their design for ratchets. They all seem to be quick release, but they are at least low profile quick release. They're good, solid ratchets. I like using them. The wrenches, the standard wrenches are fantastic. The ratcheting wrenches look like they've really upped the game there. I've got a set of the Crowfoot. They're fantastic. The torque wrenches are OEM'd and kind of standard for what you find on Amazon. I think the only benefit would be the warranty in this kind of case. Honestly, I might go with the Icon ratchet at Harbor Freight. I like it a little bit better, and if I have to warranty, I can just go to the store there. Although, Tekton, you take a picture, mail it in. It's hard to argue with that one, isn't it? All right, let's see here. And when we get the wrench organization, so you can buy, there we go. You can buy the pouches separately. Keys, they've got Allen keys. They've got T-handles. They've got organization. The screwdrivers. Now, Tekton sent me the black handle ones here a while back, and I've been using them a ton. Although they are not my go-to ones in the shop, I find them to be a little spindly, which I find I use more for like electronics works, delicate kind of stuff. They're great because they're long and they're thin. You can get in places with them. But if I'm like working on, the ATV or on the truck or something like that, they're just not robust enough for me. The hard handle screwdrivers, I like those too. I've gotten to play around with them. I don't have any, but again, they're not my cup of tea. I've got the Ingersoll Rand screwdrivers. Those are nice and big and beefy. And then I've got some Wera stuff I also use for some of the other kind of miscellaneous stuff. Let's see what else they've got. Pliers. The pliers are fantastic. A lot of the pliers are made in the USA. Now, as you know, if you've been around the channel, I'm a huge Doyle fan from Harbor Freight. They really up their games. It's really hard. I've got so many Doyle and I've got so many Tekton ones. I often get them confused. But I would say the fit and finish on the Tekton are just a slight bit above Doyle. I don't think the performance is any better. I don't know if the price, let's take a quick look, okay? Let's pull up a basic pair of, we got the slip joint right here. So here's your Tekton 8-inch slip joint plier, $17. Fantastic plier. And as you can see here, it is made in USA. The made in Taiwan Doyle, $6.99. Now for full comparison, here's the channel lock 8-inch pliers there. They're made in the USA here, and you're looking at $20.92. So if made in USA is important to you, you definitely want to go with the Tekton there. If not, I can see going through. There is not a huge difference between the two. I have both of them. And the picture, you're like, oh, in the picture I can see. There's always somebody saying, I can see blah, blah, blah in the picture. No, you can't. They're pictures. You got to see them in person. I have them both. That's just not the case. Anyway, the Tekton is, I think, still an incredibly relevant company. I think they're coming out with better and better products. Basically, what they've been doing is going through and getting rid of weeding out the chaff, if you will, getting rid of the lower tier kind of stuff they're not really proud of, and looking at like their locking joint pliers. They recently got new locking joint pliers because the old ones were not great. They were not the best ones out there. Let me see if I can pull up the new ones here. The new locking pliers there. Oh, where to go? Here we go. Let's look at some standard 7-inch ones. Let me pull it up here. So we got a standard 7-inch lock. Is a chrome Molly can't pronounce that. 7-inch straight locking pliers, $14. Let's see, straight jaw pull, large limit. Let's see if they actually mention where it's made. They're made in Taiwan. So these are made in Taiwan. The last set were made in China. So for made in Taiwan, that's not too bad. $14. So let's look at over here, the Bremen locking Bremen. And that was, I think it was a 7-inch, right? 7-inch. So there's an 11-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch. Are we not going to give me a 7-inch? Well, there's 7-inch curved for $6.97, or I can get the 10-inch for $10. Anyway, and what was the price on this one? $14. I will say this: the Bremen are pretty good, and what I found is that they are actually made, I believe, in the same plant that makes the Milwaukees. I do believe that they're made in Taiwan, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, back to Tekton. That's what we're here to talk about. I can't say enough about them. I think they're a great company. I think they're great people. They're family owned in Michigan. And I don't know. Do I fanboy over them a little bit? Maybe just a smidge, just because I want to root for the small guys. I want to root for the home team, that sort of thing. They're great quality tools. They're definitely tool truck alternative. I think they just need more. They need to expand more, and they need to get more brick and mortar if they can. But if it just stays online, you know what? I'm not going to lose sleep over it because it's such a good tool. There's so many people though out there who won't buy something if they can't get their paws on it. So anyway, hopefully that might change in the near future. Maybe they'll get a demo truck to drive around and show people stuff. That would be really cool. If you got any other questions about Tekton, let me know down below. We'll see if we can do a deep dive into that kind of stuff. That's all I got for you today. If you could, if you like what we do here, it would be great if you could chomp the old like button, maybe smash the subscribe, ring the bell on your way out. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.